okay? You got it?
Welcome back, everybody. You're watching the Handyman Business YouTube channel. On this channel, we discuss everything home services and how to make a lot of money performing these home services. Today's video is a response to a question submitted on Patreon. The question comes from a guy who's starting a handyman business in Chicago. He wants to know, should I include handyman in my business name? He thinks it might reduce the amount of money he could make just by putting handyman in his business name. And I do tend to agree with that. Now, before all of you get upset that you have handyman in your business name, just watch the entire video. I chose not to have handyman in my business name, and I chose not to have any sort of specialty in my business name. I wanted a general home construction business name. When someone hears my business name, I could either build them a house or I could fix their leaky faucet. That's what I was shooting for. I did not come up with that idea on my own. A lot of general contractors that do have a specific specialty don't limit themselves on their main business name. I'll talk more about that towards the end of the video, what I mean about their main business name. The name of your business is how easy you are to remember and how you're going to market yourself to your customers. A lot of you know that I used word of mouth advertising. I grew slow because I basically started during the Great Recession, 2008, 2009, 2010. I had low financial responsibility. My goal was to only work about 6 months out of the year. 1 month on, 1 month off, go away on a trip for 2 weeks, come back, have jobs lined up for 2 weeks, off for 2 weeks. My customers did not even know the name of my business. Even though it was written on my shirt, they probably didn't pay much attention to it. This guy named Handy is who you need to call to fix your door or to fix your pool light. I mean, I've done everything. I was the guy they could confidently refer to their friends and family that could take care of them and not rip them off and give them an amazing customer experience. That's how I grew. My name was completely irrelevant. That may have had to do with the time that I started. We're going back to 2008. That's a long time ago. It's 2025 now. I grew a large network of happy customers, basically just knew my first name. It's not exactly considered best practice if you want to grow a business to have it focus on just one person's name. You want to build the brand so that it can become larger than just the one person. I didn't want to grow a business. I'm lucky I didn't change my mind further on down the road that I wanted to switch from just being a one-man operation to a multi-man operation or try to start a big company. As I stated earlier, I was not in a rush to grow. I didn't even know what was coming in the next year. I was pretty young and had no real financial goals or business goals. I was just having fun, working, making money, and spending it. If you are not in that position and you would like to fast track your way through that growth period, you're going to need to do some marketing and advertising. And that's where your business name will have more relevance and affect how fast you go through that growth period. So when I started out, the only social media was Facebook. And I had a business Facebook page. I also had a website. That does cause a lot of confusion because a lot of people say, well, you always say you don't have a website. I don't have a website now. But when I first started out, I had a Facebook business page and a website. I even dabbled with having a Google business, which, that didn't work out too well. All it did was get me spammed. A whole bunch of telemarketers. These days, you can be your own advertising agency. You don't need to hire anything out. With social media, Facebook is still relevant. Instagram is very relevant. I think Twitter and TikTok is not the right place to put ads for home services. That's just based on my opinion and assumption. So it may work for you to go advertise on TikTok. A lot of guys aren't very social that are in this business. That's how they found themselves here, is they don't do well in offices and they don't do well playing the corporate game. They don't get along well with others. They don't talk well with people. And social media or being an influencer does not come easy to them. There's ways to get around being a personality. Don't focus on yourself. Focus on the brand. Appear larger than you really are. If you've got the website dialed, you have your social media dialed in, you're just going to command a higher price. People are going to perceive you as being more valuable than the lowly handyman. So what do you name yourself? Your parent company or your main company name should be general. Something that will encompass everything from a door to a fence, from a roof leak to a leaky faucet. Don't pigeonhole yourself into just one thing of being a handyman. If we were to ask someone on the street, what's a handyman job? I don't think they would say installing a new front door, or installing a storm door, or installing windows, or building a fence. They might say something like, well, a handyman is a guy that you call up that works for a low hourly wage. You pay him cash in the driveway, and you are his boss. You direct him around your house.
Okay, come on over this way. I want you to paint this door here, okay? You got it? All right, come over this way now. This landscaping, these landscape rocks need to be all gathered back up, and I need you to pull all those weeds. And then when you're done with that, you come find me, okay?
That's what most people think of when they hear handyman or think of a handyman job. Your mileage may vary. I know there's a lot of successful guys out there with the name handyman in their business. My guess is they grew their business kind of like I did. Their customers know them personally by their name, and they refer them based off of their past work. This brings us to another controversial talking point about my YouTube channels.
How is it that you call yourself a handyman on YouTube, but you're not really a handyman? How dare you?
Those guys are very limited in their understanding of the world and how the world works. And I don't even really think I need to waste time explaining. Now, this last topic of discussion on the business name was something that I discovered maybe 8 years ago. Quite interesting. Many businesses in the home services industry have multiple websites and multiple social media accounts under different names. They're not business names, they're just advertising names. Here's an example. You have XYZ Property Management and Maintenance. They will have a website out for door specialty installation services, window specialty installation services, siding specialty, gutters, and even paint. 5 different websites out, 5 different social media accounts, 5 different Google phone numbers that all ring back to the main office or just one dude. Appearing larger than you actually are to customers gives them the perception that you are worth more or that you have higher value. You have more to lose because you have a big website. You have a team. You have employees. Do you? Maybe, maybe not. I use it all the time. When I get a request for work for some marketing or to write an advertisement or to produce a video, it's signed HM Team. I've come up with all sorts of different things to appear more expensive than I really am. So with all that said, something that is more important than your business name or how you're going to register your business is just to start. It could be 6 months to a year and a half before you even make enough money to worry about your name. Start with, can I make $5,000 doing this? Then can I make 10? Can I make 15? Once you get to making 50 grand in 1 year, then you know you have something. Something else I always recommend is don't quit your job. If you have a job right now, do not quit and just think you're gonna become some successful handyman or home maintenance repair guy. Keep your job. Work nights and weekends. I know right now is not a great time to work nights because it's so dark and everybody's at home. Work weekends for 6 months. Can you make $5,000 to $10,000 working weekends for 6 months? Please share your experience down in the comments. You can leave an opinion, but it would be best if it was based off a real life experience. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.